Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've established this east wind pattern. It's going to be with us for several days in a row. East now at about 7. We have an 88-degree air temperature, a feels like of almost 100 already, and a dew point of 75. That east wind kind of instrumental in the timing of our storms today and the rainfall percentages. Through the morning hours for the next several mornings, we won't have much of a chance of rainfall, but by this afternoon, by around 3 p.m., we'll have about a 20% chance of showers that'll linger into the evening. Right now, quiet across the area. We had some thunderstorms earlier on this morning. Some big ones, actually, out in the Gulf. A little bit of a land breeze there and an easterly wind producing those. They continued to drift off to the west, and we got a little bit of residual cloud cover from it, but cloud cover has kind of dissipated away. We're left with lots of sunshine to heat things up. We'll catch a bit of a sea breeze near the coast with that light, with the sunshine that we get and daytime heating. But it'll be kept pretty close to the coast by that general easterly wind across the peninsula of the state. So it will produce showers and thunderstorms inland first along the collision zone of those two winds and then push them back toward the coastline. So Florence, of course, still a major hurricane. Thankfully, it has not strengthened beyond the 130, 140 mile an hour winds. But you know what? 130 and 140 mile an hour winds are way sufficient considering the hugeness of this storm to produce just terrible, terrible results as it moves up close to to the North Carolina and South Carolina borders there, coastlines. Because of the concave nature of the coastline, it's going to just kind of catch all of that water as it's pushed on shore and create this torrential storm surge, horrible storm surge. Plus, it's going to slow as it approaches the coastline because this big ridge of high pressure is going to build in and kind of block it from its path inland. And so it'll spend several days out here just spinning, pushing rain shower after rain shower after rain band on shore, producing just horrible storm surge in many, many locations. Its effect on us will be minimal, but it is a forecast to make a slight drift down to the south, maybe as far south as Atlanta. And we could catch by next week some of the rain bands kind of pushing through here, giving us a little bit of enhanced rainfall chance, maybe. But in any event, it won't be anything like what they are going to experience there. And in fact, on the weekend, Saturday, it'll probably help improve our weather as high pressure builds in and kind of the sinking edge of this system brings us some slightly drier air. So this east wind pattern continues. Florence advances, and we watch Isaac weaken. We have several systems that we're watching. We have 95L, we have Florence, we have Isaac, we have disturbance number 2, and we have Helene. Both these systems not important to us. Florence, of course, very important to the mid-Atlantic coastline. Isaac looks like it's going to weaken and fade away as it moves into the Caribbean. And 95L will most likely move toward Texas. Hurricane Florence, 130 mile an hour winds on a forecast track, taking it very close by Friday to the coastline of North Carolina or South Carolina, then kind of meandering here for several days. The thing is, as it does slow down, if there's an upside to that, it would be that it'll start pulling up colder water from down below it, and that will tend to weaken this storm, perhaps to a Category 2 storm before it makes landfall. So in that regard, it's a better situation in terms of storm strength, but still just terrible flooding, especially on this Con Cove case line between Moorhead and Wilmington in North Carolina. There's going to be some serious inundation of water there and freshwater flooding as well. So we're looking at a northwest wind coming in at about 10 knots today. Should be a pretty nice day. As we head through the weekend, we'll be looking for perhaps a slight reduction in our rain chances as we head into Saturday. As the storm system makes landfall and starts to expand on Sunday, we might get a little breezier around here. That's about all you'll notice at this present time. That's all I can say. And then maybe a few rain bands coming in on Monday and Tuesday as it gets a little bit closer perhaps to Atlanta. But otherwise, looking for a pretty nice week ahead, Scott.